We are not going to make a fuss about the truth anymore. Truth is truth. It will impose itself, savagely tear through discourse one way or another. It will. We don't need to impose it or force it. Truth is like a symptom. There's tremors in the ground. The ground is literally shaking, and I lie about that. I have just not made peace with the fate that is coming for me. The ground is going to split open and consume me. And I can lie to myself all I want, and I can lie to you about it if you want. If you believe those lies, you're going down under with them. Infrared is called a cult for the same reason North Korea or the Soviet Union or China were called totalitarian, because people living in those countries or have lived through the experiences of those countries' history experienced one thing, and then the open society of the West is claiming a lot of bizarre nonsense to the complete contrary. So that creates closed societies, closed information ecosystems where people do not trust what the West or the open society is saying anymore. That doesn't square with reality. In order for truth to be communicated, it has to be communicated in such a way that acknowledges a degree of the exclusivity of experience. Closed societies actually communicate the truth better than open societies do, because in an open society, any idiot can run their mouth saying anything they want, and lies can dominate because there's nothing that's going to verify or check those lies, because institutions alone are the highest authorities, can basically lie about reality to whatever extent they want. There's no checking power of like the exclusivity of experience, of what people are actually seeing with their own eyes and hearing with their own ears. A good example of that discrepancy, by the way, is Trump's MAGA movement itself. The open society institutions were communicating one reality. The only check on that false reality they were communicating, that empire of lies, was this populist movement of people insisting upon the integrity and exclusivity of their collective experience. Oh, Obama's claiming the economy is doing well, but I'm here with my family and with my community. I don't know anybody who's experiencing a good economy right now. I don't know anybody who's experiencing the cost of living going down or the job situation getting particularly better. My community has a fentanyl crisis, and people are getting addicted to drugs and dying. But what the media and what the academic institutions are saying of the open society is totally different. So if Trump comes here and just recognizes the exclusivity of your experience and gives recognition to that, and you start to trust him instead of the institutions because he's established an exclusive channel of the flow of information where people can come together and just be like, okay, I recognize you, you recognize me. People are coming together and mutually recognizing the exclusivity of their experience. And they say, oh, that's the cult of Trump. That's not what's going on, because we saw how his own crowd was booing him over the vaccine. Well, why was that? Because that same dynamic was going on. The institutions were saying one thing about the vaccine, but then people on the ground level were insisting upon an experience that contradicts that. It's quite peculiar that the MAGA movement identifies the Democrats and the open society with communism, because in countries like China or the Soviet Union or North Korea or any other communist state, it's actually this exclusivity of historical experience and collective feeling and collective experience that reigns supreme as the supreme political power. That's why these are closed societies. They're not closed simply because they're censoring flows of information coming from the West and they're preventing the free flow of information. That's not what makes them closed. What makes them closed is that they're enclosing the basis of truth. The basis of truth is something exclusive. It's a specific experience. It's a specific history. It's a specific collective experience that we're all having, and we are agreeing to mutually recognize the shared reality we're living in as a specific reality, not an indiscriminate, indeterminate, open, free flow of information from the abstract, from institutions that have to be verified by empiricists. We're saying, no, we are all in real time seeing the same thing happening, experiencing the same thing happening, and we're no longer scared to step forward and say, something's going on here.